pretend banter back and forth as the audio slowly comes up and people hear me saying that. And hello! Welcome to Misfits on Vinyl. My name is Spencer Streichert. I am an actor and comedian and one of your hosts.
My name is Aaron, and I'm one of your hosts.
And also an actor.
I know what's coming. I already know what's coming. That's why I hesitated. I didn't want to introduce myself.
But you need to say it proudly. It's a job title. You're a part of a very distinct brotherhood of thespians.
No.
Are able to convey emotion to an audience.
Yeah.
Through the characters that you portray on stage.
Uh-huh.
And that's who you are.
No, I don't really identify with that anymore, and I'm feeling, you're misartisting me right now, and it's honestly offending me.
Well,
you're doing it purposely every episode.
I'm not doing it purposely. I'm trying to help you see who you really are.
You're trying to
deep down
coerce me back into becoming a performer.
Trying to make you become a performer.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. Okay, so first off. I think we should probably crack our beers first.
Yeah, we kind of forgot this. We screwed this up last episode.
We did. It was, but that's okay because I mean we're learning. We're still learning. So this is from the official, non-official sponsor of Misfits on Vinyl, Cabin Brewing. This is Vines and Binds, California Zinfandel Lager. Death to the Zinfandel.
I was gonna say, it sounds oddly terroristic.
No, but it is. I don't even know what type of beer it is.
It kind of smells like wine.
It it is a Zinfandel. Yeah. So that would make sense.
Vines and Binds, and it is a collaboration with City and County Urban Winery and Tasting Bar.
You know what? If it's a collaboration with them, shout out to them because this Friday I am doing a comedy show there.
City and Country. I said City and County, but City and Country. Yeah.
City and country? City and county?
All part of the plan.
City and county, city and country. Okay, well, since we mentioned city and country, I got this Friday, I'm at City and Country Wine. Then on Sunday, I'm at the Laugh Loft at the Attic in Inglewood. And then on the 24th, I'm headlining the Gotland Indigenous Comedy Show at Yuck Yucks.
Hell yeah.
And then on the 25th and 26th, I'm in Peace River at Peace River Brewing with Connor Christmas. So I got dates. Come see me do funnies, please. I desperately need people in the audience that like me. All right, I'm still struggling with this. Every fucking episode, I can't pour a beer.
It looks like a rosé.
It smells like a rosé.
Cheers.
Cheers, boo. Give me a second. I got to get my cheers hand. Cheers.
Oh, it's so satisfying.
Oh, it's always good. Yep. No,
that is, that's different. I don't mind it.
Yeah, I like it.
It's not as strong of a flavor as I thought it was going to be.
I thought it was going to be a little bit more winey.
Tastes like beer.
Yeah, I definitely I thought that this was gonna be the Kanye beer. It was really whiny. It's okay to make fun of him now.
Can we get Pierce Morgan on the show? Because holy fuck, dude, he's been on a roll interviewing Andrew Tate, Kanye.
Wait, really?
Oh, he's had Andrew Tate on twice.
Oof.
Dude.
Oh God, gross. You know what I feel really bad for? There's a podcast that I listen to called Let's Not Meet, and I've been listening to it for a couple of years, and the host name is Andrew Tate as well.
That's unfortunate.
And he had to post a thing to his Instagram being like, I am not that Andrew Tate. Please quit mentioning me, blah, blah, blah. And, like, people were, like, coming to his defense and being like, this is not the Andrew Tate, but they were tagging the Andrew Tate in his thing. So people were confusing who it was and then fucking attacking him.
He should have just came out and said, I'm not the top G.
Something like that. Oh, that would have been good. Ooh, okay. So we haven't actually seen each other in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I got sick.
Yeah.
I had COVID.
2 people in the podcast caught the plague.
Yeah. Sam, did you officially have COVID or are you just sick?
I didn't get tested.
Yeah.
I just isolated.
I feel like that's the thing to do now is just like pretend like you have it if you have symptoms.
But it's not so much of like before if you caught COVID, you were like your life was fucked up for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It was like, 5 days I was symptomatic and then they're like, yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. You know what's funny is like honestly the second time I got COVID was actually worse than the first. But the first time I had to isolate for longer.
Yeah.
Like the first time I just had the shits and I was sweating for like 24 hours.
Remember when you got exposed to COVID and you had to isolate for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, dude.
But remember when the government would pay you to do that?
Yeah,
that part was pretty dope.
that was
That was
nice.
pretty great.
That
I
part was nice.
I like when the government gives us money.
Yeah, I like
True dollars. Those
Serb-
true daddy
Serb was
bucks.
pretty wicked, actually.
Serb was great. Honestly,
Yeah.
the oh fuck, I have to. This brings up a ranty point. Okay, so when everything was initially happening and the Serb came out, right? A bunch of people from my hometown shared the meme of Buzz and Woody, and it was like, if $2,000 a month changed your life, imagine what a job would do. And I'm like, you fucking literally live at home still. Like, you live on your parents' ranch. You've never paid for fucking anything. Your parents bought your truck when you were 16.
Well,
What are you talking about?
$2,000 a month did change my life because I got laid off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
Sorry,
you
I
know,
fucking couldn't work during that time.
I literally lost my job and nothing was open.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it did help me out.
It did help me out.
Yeah.
You know what I was able to do? Eat food.
Yeah.
Literally, it was the bare minimum that
Pay
fucking
rent,
brought.
eat food.
Yeah.
I mean, I was even buying shitty weed. I wasn't buying good weed with it
No.
either. Yeah.
No.
I was buying dirt weed. Like, come on.
I
Like,
bought absolute pig shit.
Sacrifices were made, dude.
Do you know what type of beer I had to drink during that time?
What?
Shitty fucking beer.
I was drinking Lowenbrow. It's like a
Ooh.
$2 tall boy can.
I was drinking Sneaky Weasel, which is like 7%.
Yeah, and
And
I was
I
like-
would drink like a 6-pack of that and then go back to the liquor store and get more.
You know, times are dark when you're waking up at like 2:30 in the afternoon and going to bed at like 5:45 in the morning.
God, that's like every day for me though, and that feels awful that you just said that.
That's dark, bro. That's a dark existence.
But it's not though. I mean, I'm thriving.
Who are you trying to convince?
Thriving.
Who are you trying to convince here? No, I just remember like fucking I go to bed at like 6 in the morning for no reason. I was playing League of Legends quite a bit. I really got into League. I was actually talking about this with my brother last night. We were playing darts and he was like, "Do you remember when we got really into League?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude. I don't even want to think about that. Like that time of my life. I think me and you, Sam played. Yeah. Holy fuck, I was playing a lot of League of Legends.
What exactly is League of Legends? Because I don't really know.
I don't know the proper technical terms because I sucked. Sam can attest to that as well. I was not very good. Yeah. What's the category of game? Like you probably know better.
MOBA, but I don't know what that stands for.
But yeah, you're basically
Mobile
fighting.
operative bitchin' associate.
Yeah, pretty much. But like all I remember, I used to go. I'm going whatever. I'm support. Is what I suck, dude. Yeah, you have a team basically, and you're fighting a team. You have to capture some towers, fuck some people up. You'll have special powers.
So
and
it's kind of
shit,
like
yeah.
Bloons Tower Defense.
No.
In a way,
I guess like yeah, in a roundabout way, kind of, but not really.
Is it like Clash of Clans?
No, but
Is
kind
it like
of,
World of Warcraft?
somewhat.
Is it like RuneScape?
No,
Is it like Skyrim?
no,
Is it like Need for Speed?
absolutely no, no. We're just like you're just naming video games down.
Is it like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas?
No,
Oh,
you gotta like
a good
you're like
one.
you and your list, dude. Like every episode,
dude, I'm
Going?
good at listing.
Yeah. Keep going. What else do you have?
Mario Party 2, is it like that?
Yeah.
Is it like Ultimate Chicken Horse?
You know what it might be like?
What the fuck was that?
Mario Kart.
Ooh,
Which is a
speaking
great,
of
which is a
fucking-
great transition.
Okay, but Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart.
Yeah.
We got to go with the OG, the good one. All right, so the album that we are going to be reviewing this week is very near and dear to our hearts.
It certainly is.
It's one that I don't think a lot of people that are listening are actually going to know.
I don't even know how you came across this album.
I was kind of obsessed with it. I guess we'll introduce it and then I'll
Yeah.
talk about that. So, album that we're reviewing is Christopher Cross's debut album, Christopher Cross.
Christopher Cross.
Which, it's a fucking banger. Oh god.
There's a coaster here.
Oh
one sec.
no, what's happening? Oh, there we go. All right. This is a great album. I picked it up for $3 at Cops Records in Toronto.
That's the best decision you ever made. I
It
swear to
really
God.
fucking was the best
Yeah.
decision I've ever made. I was kind of I had seen the album in a lot of like discount bins before, and it's pretty iconic album art, you know, like the flamingo and like the highly saturated colors with the green.
Yeah.
So I had seen it a bunch, and then I listened to it a few times, like on like Spotify, like just listened to a few of the like top tracks, which we all I think know the top tracks. It's like Ride Like the Wind, Sailing, Never Be the Same. Those are like songs that we all know. Then I saw it for $3 at Cops Records, and I fucking picked this up. And Aaron and I, when we lived together in Toronto, we used to listen to this record almost every day.
Yeah.
And play Super Mario Kart. And we got A, really fucking good at Super Mario Kart, and B, we knew this fucking album front to back.
Oh, yeah.
Because we would listen to it so goddamn much.
It's honestly a really good soundtrack for Mario. I think it's a missed opportunity by Nintendo. Because Ride Like the Wind, you remember we played the lava level?
Yeah.
And we'd rip Ride Like the Wind. Such a long way to go. Oh, dude, it's a great...
Racing for the border of Mexico.
So I
Ride like the wind.
Ride like the wind. It's awesome.
It is awesome. And like this is, I think, like for anybody who is unsure about like getting into like the yacht rock genre, A, this has been named as like the quintessential yacht rock album, but it is like front to back. You listen to this, it's very pleasant. you just kind of imagine that you're sitting on a fucking boat.
So I had a laugh. I was, coming up with fun facts, and I'll spoil one. But VH1 called this the most soft-sational soft rock album of all time. And I think that accurately describes it. Honestly, it is soft-sational.
It's very soft-sational. And like it's okay, it's the type of album that like when you put it on, you kind of get transported into a mind space that you don't even need to be on board for. You just get brought there.
No.
It's like there was times when like we would be having a bad day, listen to this album, and it fucking changes your day. It's just it's oh god, it's good vibes on vinyl.
Yeah, well, I also feel like we enjoyed it quite a bit because we got high quite a bit listening to it.
That also helps.
Yes.
Smoke a doobie and listen to Sailing, and please tell me that it's
a really fantastic.
It's a fantastic album. So let's get into the album a little bit here. So it was released December 20th, 1979. It was recorded in mid-1979. There was only about a 6-month turnaround from when he recorded this to when it came out.
Nice.
And he had only gotten signed like 6 months before that. So, within a year, he became a fucking star.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is super cool. So, we already mentioned it's a soft rock, yacht rock album. And it's got themes of searching for oneself, the pangs of love, and discovering a sense of self-assuredness. It was produced by 11-time Grammy nominee and 3-time winner Michael O'Martin, and he had moved to Los Angeles, from Los Angeles to Nashville in 1993, and then he served on the board of governors of the Recording Academy, and he also helped shape the curriculum for the first master's degree program in the field of music business at Belmont University.
Oh, that's cool.
So, like, that's afterwards, obviously, but, like, it's cool that he was a producer on this, and then he went on to have, like, a lasting impact in the music industry that's, far-reaching from just having created things, right? He also worked with everyone from Clint Black, Whitney Houston, Rod Stewart, Dolly Parton, the Jacksons, and Trisha Yearwood. He was, like, if they were the top country or pop artists, he worked with them.
That's pretty cool. He's
Which-
got a pretty impressive track record.
That's a pretty fucking good track record. And
Christopher Cross.
And Christopher Cross.
Yeah, dude.
Which, like, amazing because, like, okay, we're going to get into this a little bit later when we talk about the artist, but he was, like, in the early 80s, he was kind of the sound of the fucking early 80s. He had a big impact, and his light quickly fucking dimmed.
Yep.
It got put out very quickly. Okay, so a little bit more about the album. 5-time Grammy winner Michael MacDonald of the Doobie Brothers and Steely Dan provided the backing vocals, as did Dawn Henley and Nicolette Larson from like Neil Young and her song "Lot of Love." Which, okay, it's funny that we've had a few albums now where Steely Dan artists have been
involved.
sessional musicians, but after learning that it was Michael MacDonald, re-listening to this, and then I was listening to this the other day, and What a Fool Believes came on after I had listened to the album, and I honestly was like, you know what? It kind of just sounds like this Doobie Brothers album was just really long.
That's funny.
Because the Doobie Brothers are also fucking dope, and Don Henley, I mean, like amazing, from the Eagles and everything. In a New York minute.
I love the Boys of Summer. That's why.
Everything will change. Oh yeah,
that's my favorite. Don
Boys
Henley
of Summer
song.
is a fucking good
That's
one.
one of my karaoke tracks too. When we're not together,
Yeah.
I'll do the Boys of Summer.
Yeah, when we're together, it's all Salisbury Hill.
Yeah,
all
Maybe
Salisbury
we have to
Hill.
mix it some sailing.
Oh my God.
Did we sing this together one time?
We did Ride Like the Wind at Kramer's one time.
Yeah. I was gonna say I feel like we sang Christopher Cross together at some point.
Yeah, everybody in the bar fucking hated it. I remember that.
Yeah,
Also, Kramer's hated us when we sang karaoke because we'd run through the audience, like we'd run through the crowd, which I mean, I think that's hilarious.
Shout out to Kramer's. It's like the dingiest fucking little hole in the wall.
Yeah, it's such.
Bar.
I wonder if it's still open. I forgot to go and check.
I think it
when
is
I was
still
there.
open. Yeah.
You know what? Next time that I'm in Toronto, I'm gonna go sing some Christopher Cross on that stage for us.
That's a good idea. It's gotta be sailing though.
Sailing takes me away from
Okay, I don't want to
always...
shoo people away from listening to this album. We want to encourage them.
We are encouraging people. And more encouragement. Let's talk about the artwork because Danny Henderson and James Flaughterney Holmes, they did the artwork. And James Holmes and Wonder Graphics did the design, and the flamingo concept was by Jim Newhouse. Now, what's really interesting is these were all also musicians. So, and Christopher Cross picked the flamingo because he just thought it looked cool. But it became like his iconic thing.
It also, kind of
all of
suits
his
the album
albums.
pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It this is something that I think a flamingo would listen to. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a flamingo-y album.
I don't know what type of genres they're into, but either they're like this sort of stuff or they like death metal. I can imagine them like sitting with their one leg up, just like listening to like some serious death metal.
It's just like, Void!
Yeah, probably. You know what? I could see that.
I'm eating shrimp! I'm turning pink! And when I poop, it really stinks!
That's actually very good. Bravo, Spencer.
Yeah, I've always wanted to be a death metal vocalist.
I do feel bad for Sam, though, when he's got to go back and edit that audio.
But you know what I feel good for?
Well,
our audience that's going to listen to my beautiful death metal vocals.
That's true.
Shout out to all of our friends that listen. Also, I forgot to mention, I also had to apologize.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I have to apologize to Julie the Bartender at Tea House because I mentioned Tea House. I did not say that Julie is the one who always gives me the heffy. It's true. It's Julie. Shout out to Julie. Julie really wants to do the podcast at some point. Nice. She listens to all the episodes. She loves it. I love Julie, so I apologize. I
love
also,
Julie, too.
I also have to apologize to the city of Toronto because I had made a joke last week that people on Bay Street jump in front of the train because they have to live in Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto's not that bad. It's it's a fun place to visit, terrible place to live.
That's a respectable apology.
Yeah, I think that's a good apology. Okay.
I have to apologize to absolutely nobody.
I hold my words. They are my own.
I stand by everything I say.
I wish I could. Okay, so a little bit about the artist. Here's something that I thought was really interesting. This was actually really fucking hard to do a lot of research on him because, like, even on Wikipedia, there wasn't a lot about him. And for those that don't know, a lot of our research comes from the Wikipedia.
The very reliable
source. Wikipedia.
Yes.
But like Wikipedia, IMDb, nothing really had any info on him. So it was kind of hard to find stuff. But he was born May 3rd, 1951 in San Antonio, Texas. So when this album comes out, he's like 29, right? He's or 28, 29. That's a pretty good, respectable time to really pop off. Because I think that at that point, you've got an idea of who you are. It's not like you're 18 and you get a huge record deal and then you ruin your life with drugs and alcohol. And
Fair. Okay, one thing I learned though, I don't know if you wrote this down. His name is not Christopher Cross. His name is not Christopher Cross. Let me pull it up.
Is it Gephardt?
Yeah, Christopher Gephardt.
Christopher Gephardt. Gephardt.
Gephardt.
I think it's Gephardt.
Gephardt.
Gephardt. Gephardt?
Gephardt?
G-E-P-P-E-R-T. Gephardt.
Gephardt.
Gephardt. Why are you saying it like that?
I don't know, dude. I don't have it in front of me to read.
Gephardt.
Say it again.
Gephardt?
Gephardt?
Gephardt.
Gephardt?
Gephardt.
Anyways, his name is not Christopher Cross.
Think like Gep and then Hart.
Gephardt.
No, Gephardt.
Okay, I'm giving up on this.
Fuck me.
I'm bad with last names. I'm bad with last names.
Okay, so yeah, he was in San Antonio, Texas. He was an Army brat as well.
Nice.
His dad was a doctor in the Army, and in high school he played football and track and field. Wasn't really a artsy kid. I think at the time though, probably was a lot harder to be an artsy kid, especially if you're an Army kid. Yeah, probably got
In San Antonio.
Yeah, especially in Texas. Play football. God damn it. That's what you
And
do
track
as a
and
man.
field.
Play football.
You know what? When I
Throw
think
the
of-
shot put.
Little sidebar, when I think of San Antonio, do you know Charles Barkley, right? So he's on TNT, NBA on TNT, and anytime they mention San Antonio, they're like, Charles, what's in San Antonio? He's like, big old women. Every single time. They're like, Charles, stop. He's like, with their churros. Like, it's really fucking funny, dude.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious.
He's actually really, really funny. He's a really funny human being.
That's so fucking funny. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna jump back into the artist here. Bassist Andy Solomon and keyboardist Rob Meyer met him in San Antonio when they were still teens. Gephardt and Salmon became bandmates in Flash, with Gephardt on the guitar. Together they formed the Christopher Cross Band and moved to Austin, where they added drummer Tommy Taylor. There they played covers for cash while recording demo versions of original songs at Austin Pecan Street Studios, and which they shopped to record labels. Though they considered themselves a band, Warner Brothers signed Christopher Cross as a solo artist in 1979.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So they were basically the other guys that were just kind of the sessional musicians.
They were just the sessional musicians. And they were his touring musicians too.
Yeah, but that makes sense because I did associate him as a person.
Yeah.
And he does brand himself as Christopher Cross.
He is Christopher Cross.
Yeah.
Even though he's Christopher Gephardt.
Yeah. It's true.
Okay, so although he's known for his vocals, his guitar playing is such that he once got an unfulfilled invitation to play with Donald Fagen and Walter Beck of Steely Dan.
Nice.
And that's how we met the Steely Dan boys, which is super cool because, you know, they had a huge influence on this album. Now, after this album, in 1981, he recorded Arthur's theme for Dudley Moore's movie Arthur, which is a fucking classic.
That is a good movie.
That is a great movie. I would highly recommend that movie for anybody out there. It's way better than the Russell Brand one.
Oh yeah, that's what I put in the terrible Russell Brand remake.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, with Helen Mirren. Who else is in that? I'm trying to remember.
There was you know what? I've only watched that movie once, so I could not fucking.
I'm not a big Russell Brand fan. I mean, Forgetting Sarah Marshall's good.
Yeah, Forgetting Sarah
I like
Marshall's
that
good.
movie.
Get Him to the Greek is aight.
Yeah, but I think he peaked at Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, very forgettable actor, comedian, not great all around.
not a good person.
Not a good person. Really boring. Okay, so but he recorded Arthur's theme for the movie, and that won the Oscar for Best Original Song.
Nice.
His second album, Another Page, came out in 1983. It produced the singles All Right, No Time for Talk, and Think of Laura. All Right was used by CBS Sports for its highlight montage for the 1983 NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's pretty fucking
very specific.
very specific, but you know what? March Madness, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
And then Think of Laura was used as a reference to characters in the soap opera General Hospital. Now,
this is where it starts going down.
This is where it starts.
Yeah,
but this is like peak him. Like his music's everywhere at this point, right?
Yeah.
So he allowed ABC to use the song in that context. However, he also stated that he wrote "Think of Laura" not in reference to the television characters, but to celebrate the life of Denison University college student Laura Carter, who was killed when she was struck by a stray bullet. So. ABC heard this song. They were like, "We have a character named Laura. We need this song in our
General Hospital."
On General Hospital. But that would have been the same time that wasn't John Stamos on General Hospital?
I don't know. I don't know if he was on General. I know James Franco was on General Hospital in like the mid 2000s.
Yeah, Ray Liotta I think might have been on General Hospital.
Yeah, I'm trying
Ray
to
Liotta
remember.
and John Stamos started out in soap operas around that time.
I remember my mom used to watch General Hospital when James Franco was on, and he was like playing the bad guy, and his name was just Franco.
Ooh,
yeah, and he was the bad character. Yeah,
yeah,
Franco.
James Franco Ocean.
No, but this is when he was like, after he like had like award-winning performances and like he just went to General Hospital.
Yeah, this was before all the terrible things that he did.
Yeah, this was like 2008. So
Yeah.
this is like Pineapple Express.
This is Pineapple Express.
time,
We all
yeah.
still like James Franco at that time.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so another page sold. Fuck me. Another page sold well, getting gold certification. He also co-wrote and sang the song "A Chance for Heaven" for the 1984 Summer Olympic Games in LA.
Wow.
But after 1984, his star quickly dimmed. MTV was popping off. His music didn't really fit the MTV vibe.
No.
He had adult contemporary. He had that market nailed.
Yeah.
But, you know, in that music video era, he didn't really, which is sad because, like, I can think of great music video concepts for a few of the songs that are on this album. You know, like, fucking Ride Like the Wind, you could have, like, just a really cool-ass fucking outlaw music video. God damn.
But, I mean, compared to what was popping off, more dancey music, more pop-based music, he didn't quite fit the mold of what was popular at that time.
Well, and I also, I put this in the about the culture at the time when this album came out, right? Like, 1980, that was the turning point of, like, when pop music went away from like disco and rock and it became like synthy and beat based. So he was kind of a transition because you have elements in this that kind of sound like the 80s, but you have a lot of this that sounds like the 70s.
Yeah, it's extremely soft rock, which for how successful it was, especially when we start talking about the Grammys he won for this album specifically, like it's kind of an odd choice compared to the other albums that were nominated.
It's very odd, especially considering I think that we're introducing people to this album.
Yeah, well, I think I think if you would ask like just say 100 people, maybe 5 would be super familiar with this album.
My mom didn't even know what it was.
No.
I was like, this is what we're doing on the podcast this week, and she was like, I don't fucking know what that is. She thought it was like crisscross.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
Jump.
Oh God. Oh. Crisscross will make you jump. Daddy Mac will make you jump. Okay, so his next two albums, 1985's Every Turn of the World and 1988's Back of My Mind, did not produce any top 40 hits or reach gold or platinum status. Which, if your first two albums are, your first album is 5 times platinum, your second album's gold.
Yeah.
It's not good when your next two don't even fucking chart.
No, not at all.
However, the song Swept Away was used in the TV show Growing Pains.
Nice.
It was used during a video montage while Kirk Cameron's character, Mike, fell in love with a local girl while vacationing with the family in Hawaii, which that seems appropriate for a Christopher Cross song.
It does.
Falling in Love. That's a good one.
Look at him. He's
Look at him.
still getting TV spots.
Still getting TV spots in the 90s. But since 2018, I skipped a lot in the middle there because there was a lot of boring shit that happened.
Nothing really
for him.
happened for him.
He got married and divorced a few times. He crapped out a few kids. But like other than that, since 2018, he has been playing in a band called Freedonia. They have 2 full-length albums, Freedonia and Firefly, and an EP titled Bring Back the Dinosaurs, which they are bringing back the dinosaurs.
Okay, I gotta say, that's a really stupid fucking name for a band.
Freedonia?
And they're singing about dinosaurs. What happened to my boy?
I know.
Look what they've done to my boy.
He fell from grace so hard. Like, I don't understand how he can fall this hard. Okay, so let's talk about some notable singles from this album.
Yes.
Okay, so I actually, interesting enough, we couldn't find out a lot about the artist for this episode, but there was more that I could find out about the songs than any other artist we've covered so far.
There you go.
So, Ride Like the Wind, released February 15th, 1980. It reached number 2 on the U.S. charts for 4 consecutive weeks behind Call Me by Blondie. On the album's inner sleeve, Christopher Cross dedicated this song to Lowell George, formerly of the band Little Feat, who had died in 1979. Ride Like the Wind features backing vocals by Michael MacDonald and a guitar solo by Cross. The lyrics of the song tell the story of a condemned criminal on the run to Mexico, and it's told in the first-person point of view. It does really amp you up when you're listening to it.
Oh, it does.
It's like, and like the guitar in this, everything, the fucking like kind of disco-y fucking
And like,
intro.
it's got like a weird like callback thing. Where
Yeah.
That's such a long way to go.
Such a long way.
Yeah, between the background vocals and crisscross, it's so good, dude. I don't know.
So good.
I don't know. I can't even like trying to really describe the album. Like it's just good. Like fucking listen to it.
It's very hard to describe it because like this one specifically because like it's got a piano intro that ends up kind of going a little disco.
Yeah,
which is really funny because it's not what you're expecting. And then he's described it as a Western romanticized like story of like an outlaw. Right now, where the bad guy gets away. The setting can be summarized as having been from the time before the U.S. and Mexico signed their mutual criminal extradition treaty. Now, he mentioned he was high on LSD when he wrote the lyrics. We were living in Houston at the time, and on the way down to Austin to record the songs, it was just a beautiful Texas day. I took acid, so I wrote the words on the way down from Houston to Austin. Very fitting.
Yeah.
Definitely an acid trip.
I never pegged him as like a psychedelic guy. Just by the way he looks, he's very clean cut. He's very I never pegged him as that type of person.
I imagined him as the type of guy that would have one beer and then have to take a Tums.
Yeah, he's like Randy Bachman kind of vibe.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, our least favorite Canadian.
I could probably think of a few more. There's a few more I could probably list off.
I you know what? I kind of feel bad because I feel like I just shit on Randy Bachman a bunch, but like his book really sucked. I really fucking hated it. And I finished it too. Okay, so in 1999, the satirical newspaper The Onion published a story with the headline, Christopher Cross finally reaches the Mexican border.
That's funny. That's really funny.
And apparently he fucking loved it. He was like, that's super great. And he took it as an honor. Now, the song's been covered and charted twice. Once by Belgian DJ Laurent Ray, and the second time by English heavy metal band Saxon. You ever heard Saxon?
I haven't.
They're fucking heavy.
Yeah, dude. That's funny that they cover Christopher Cross. I love when bands do that when it's like like
when it's like a very weird one.
Yeah, oh yeah. And they go hardcore with it. That's funny.
And you also just know too, like because we've talked about it before. Like we were last week after a couple of weeks ago after an episode, we were like going back and forth with videos of like metal covers of songs like Leon Macroni's cover of Adele's Hello.
Yeah, and I showed you that Sweden Goes Metal, Swedish Hits Go Metal.
Oh,
yeah.
Gimme a man.
It's basically a bunch of metal ABBA covers. It's pretty wicked.
And it works so well.
It does work well.
Okay, so second single we're going to be talking about, Sailing, released June 15th, 1980. It hit number 1. Same in Canada. Number 32 at the year end. Covered by a ton of artists, including Barry Manilow. Sampled by Puff Daddy and the 1975. Featured on TV shows like WKRP Cincinnati, Family Guy, and Cobra Kai. He said in interviews that the song's inspiration was his friendship with an older friend from his high school, Al Glasscock, who would take him sailing as a teenager.
Sorry, is that really his name?
That is his name. Al Glasscock.
Okay. Sorry.
Al Glasscock.
I'm very immature. I had to laugh. I saw Sam laughing. I was like, oh, it's okay to laugh at that.
Al Glasscock would take a young boy out on a boat. Sailing.
We didn't touch on this with Michael Jackson. Leave it. Leave it. Don't make me record another disclaimer, dude.
Okay, so he said the song was about like it was inspired by this because this guy would take him out there on the boat to like help him get away from like get his mind off of shit that was going on in his life, right? And Glasscock functioned as a surrogate older brother during a very tough time for him when he was in high school. But then he lost touch with him. And this is actually a really sweet thing. On the Howard Stern show in April of 1995, Howard reunited Cross with Glasscock after 28 years.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Cross acknowledged on the show that his sailing trips with Glasscock had been the inspiration for the song, and after that reunion, Cross sent Glasscock a copy of the platinum record he earned for selling more than 5 million copies of Sailing.
Wow.
I thought that was
That's very wholesome.
And also, like, really wholesome that Howard Stern would do that back then. Back when he was like, fart man.
Yeah. Well, I'm imagining there was probably some like when they hugged, there was probably some farts they put on in between, and like,
there was probably like the crying Baba Booey sounds.
Yeah, they probably threw some stuff in there to make it annoying, but
like, oh god, what's really funny is like people make fun of like hack radio DJs, but like he kind of fucking set the tone for that with all of the sound bites.
And now
and
look
shit.
at him now; he's so lame.
Oh god, I mean, I'm not gonna say anything.
Still, like, going.
Yeah, I know. He's so lame.
It's crazy that he's like, and he makes like 500 million a fucking year.
I know, but
like,
who's listening anymore? That's the real question,
dude.
Like,
28 million people are listening to him.
Wow,
that's insane.
That's like quite a few more million than us.
That is a lot more million
about 28
than us.
more million than us, yeah.
Okay, remember when you fucking made fun of me when I said that Bruce Springsteen made more money than us? What the fuck? Of course he's got more listeners than us.
Well, I'm not surprised by that. That's not my point. I'm just surprised that there's 28 million people that are willing to listen to him anymore.
It's crazy that he has 28 million people listening to him and Joe Rogan has like 10.
Wow, and he's
and Joe Rogan's in the news more often than fucking Howard Stern.
Yeah, I mean, Howard Stern really got off. Like, he was in the perfect time because some of the shit he used to do, like, he would have never been able.
He would never get away with it nowadays.
No, not a chance.
There was a lot of stuff like and like I don't know. I sometimes will listen to like old Howard Stern stuff, like especially if he's interviewing like bands.
Yeah,
or
I went through a
actors
phase of
or
that.
stuff.
I listened to a bunch of his content.
Yeah, and like I like listening to like the old like the 90s shows
Yeah.
if he's interviewing people, right? Because like back then like he was like the only place where people could like get a real interview. But there's so many things where you're just like, ew, this is so fucking seedy now.
Yeah.
Like it's so seedy. And the whole time too, he's got like 3 daughters at home, but then he's going on the air and like making women ride a fucking giant dildo in the studio. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's a little creepy bastard.
Yeah, a little creepy. A little creepy. Also a germaphobe.
Is he?
Yeah, which is funny.
Like
you
Howie
wouldn't
Mandel.
expect a pervert to be a germaphobe.
Is that like one of the qualifications for being a host on America's Got Talent? You have to be a germaphobe?
Yeah, Howie Mandel, him, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, so the third single, Never Be the Same, released in October. It hit the adult contemporary #1, stayed there for 3 weeks. It was the singer's third consecutive single to reach the top 40 on the Billboard chart.
Nice.
And it peaked at number 15 in 1980. And it's about understanding a relationship that has lost its light, became stale or toxic, and yet still having been hurt over the fact that it's over. When you listen to it, though, it's pretty fucking happy.
Yeah. He's got that thing going on.
He's got that thing going on.
Yeah.
He's got that Bahamas thing going on where, like, even when it's sad, he's like, it's kind of happy.
But even, I mean, I don't know, like, Sailing is a bit of a ballad, but it's not really sad either.
No. But it's very upbeat. But it is a ballad. It's definitely a love ballad. But you know what I think is funny is like after finding out what the song was about, it made me realize like why we connected with it so much. Because like, yeah, we're like bros.
We're friends.
And
It's a friendship song.
It's a friendship song. We would listen to that song and I was like,
Fantasy,
it gets the best of me when I'm sailing.
Oh, dude.
All caught
Chills.
up in the misery.
Chills, dude.
Oh, so good.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll show you the hair on my arm. They're standing up.
Oh, dude. The hairs on my pee-pee are standing up. Oh, no, it's just my pee-pee. Okay.
Nice.
All right. Let's get into the reception. So, this is the big one. He became the first artist to win the 4 major categories: Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best New Artist in the same year, a feat that was not replicated until 2020 when Billie Eilish did it.
Billie Eilish. Yeah, you're about the names, dude. Really about the names, and you pulled that one out. Yeah, it's he was the only one. Yeah, until like 2020. Is that what you said? Yeah, which is pretty impressive. And what Sailing won Song of the Year.
Yep.
Obviously the album won Album of the Year. Record of the Year, was that also Sailing?
I
think Record of the Year was also
Yeah,
Sailing.
I think it was Sailing, yeah.
And then of course Christopher Cross won Best New Artist.
Which it's crazy because like it does make sense, and then when you see Billie Eilish, you're like, yeah, like that. I fucked it up intentionally the first time, but then the second time I almost fucked it up again. Like she has a lot of the same qualities in terms of like having like a consistent album you can listen to.
Yeah, and I think one thing too is like that not all artists have like when they make their best album, you know, the one that gets the most critical reception wins the awards. Not often is it their first album, which seems to be both what has happened. Yeah. I mean, I feel like Billie Eilish will stick around a bit longer than Christopher Cross did.
I think so too.
But like he peaked right away.
And I mean, this is the fact that you had told me about when we started listening to the album. Beat the Wall for Album of the Year, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, Beat the Wall out for it, which The Wall is an iconic album. I mean, Roger Waters is still touring The Wall.
Yeah,
to this day.
And I would say probably one of the, if not the biggest concept albums.
Yep.
Like, still fucking touches across generations, holds up. Crazy that it fucking lost to
I know
this.
he beat out a Billy Joel album as well. I'm not sure the name of the album. Is it Glass House? I'd have to look.
Yeah, it's the one that's still rock and roll to me.
He beat basically two iconic artists.
Super iconic.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and Barbara Streisand he beat too. Actually, it's all coming to me in one go.
Yeah. Oh wait. That also would have been the year that Off the Wall, Michael Jackson, was nominated.
What was it? No, I think that was the year before. Let me look, because I looked into this earlier.
Okay.
And it was Barbara Streisand, Billy Joel, and Pink Floyd, and there was one other one.
Yeah, there's definitely one other one, but okay, maybe it was the year before that. Was Off the Wall even nominated for a Grammy?
I don't know.
It would be funny if The Wall and Off the Wall were up the same year.
You can keep talking. I'm going to figure this out.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, Sailing won Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Instrumental Arrangement Accompanying Vocalist, which I didn't even know was a category. AllMusic retrospectively gave it a 4.5 out of 5. According to Stephen Thomas Erlewine, the album was a huge hit and widely acclaimed, at least among industry professionals. Critics didn't give it a second listen, leading to multi-platinum success and Grammys. Yes, he does favor sentimentality and can be very sweet on the ballads, but his melodicism, oh my god, I did it!
You know who he beat? Frank frickin' Sinatra, dude. So Frank Sinatra, Barbara Streisand, Pink Floyd, and Billy Joel is who he beat.
Was that the Frank Sinatra that would have had My Way on it?
It was like I think it just says, all this thing says is it's I had it pulled up earlier.
Okay.
But it took me quite a bit to find it. So.
If it was the one that had My Way on it, that'd be really funny.
Sure, I find it, but you know what I can tell you about that year's Grammys? Paul Simon hosted it.
Ooh,
that's cool.
That's really cool. Did they call him Al?
I don't know. My fucking browser.
I'm surprised he wasn't too busy hanging with Julio down by the schoolyard, dude.
Okay, so he said his melodicism is rich and construction tight, so it's a sturdy foundation for the classy professional gloss provided by his studio pros and friends, including the undeniable backing vocals by Michael MacDonald. Literally, I think that Michael MacDonald's backing vocals are a big part of why this album is so good.
I would agree with that. The background vocals certainly play into how great every song is. I mean, they're like often a mainstay on the courses as well.
Yeah.
Which I think it adds quite a bit to the work.
And it definitely it gives it that nice kiss at the end.
It does.
Wraps it in a little bow.
No tongue.
No tongue. Spin listed it as one of the 8 essential yacht rock albums. Weekly charts, Dutch albums, it was in the top 100. It was number 14. New Zealand, it was number 16. UK, number 14. US Billboard's number 6. At the year end, it was number 4.
Nice.
And it was 5 times platinum.
Nice.
Now we're getting into the final things here. So, fun facts.
Yeah, I don't remember all of them, so if you want to rifle a couple of them off,
yeah.
I'll fill in.
So VH1 named "Sailing" the most sensational
album of all time, soft rock album of all time. Nice.
He once played guitar for Deep Purple in 1970 for a show when Richie Blackmore fell ill.
Nice. That's cool, because he doesn't sound like he'd play in Deep Purple.
No.
But what's that song? Smoke on the Water. That's Deep Purple, right?
That is.
That's the first song everybody learns on guitar. So I bet Christopher Cross like nailed that shit, because it's like everybody learns Smoke on the Water is like the first song. Can you play it? You gonna play it?
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it.
This better be good.
I'm gonna.
Dun, dun, dun.
What? Mic to it. All right, here we go.
I'm ready for this. Oh, dude, that was stinky. That was not good, dude. That was not good, dude.
I told you in the first episode I can't play
Oh,
instruments.
dude. Dude, that was something else.
Okay, but I can do this.
Nice.
That's a good way to cap that one.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
I did tell you that I couldn't play.
Holy shit, dude.
It's amazing because I do.
I think I have a headache now. That hurt, dude.
It would have been really funny if it'll be really funny if Sam loops that after.
No, it wouldn't be funny, dude. It wouldn't be.
TikTok's gonna do that for you.
It wouldn't be funny at all, dude.
You know what? Okay, I gotta say this because I don't think we've actually mentioned it. All the intro songs I've been doing them.
I know you have.
And the only one that I fucking could not do was Alanis Morissette. I fucked it up so bad. But
I was wondering why the intro was so short for that one.
yeah, no, I was like,
It was really long.
Yeah.
it was really long. I fucking recorded a long one, and Sam cut it down. Thank God. It was bad.
Cut it down to, like, 7 seconds.
And like, because here's the problem. I'm trying to do piano covers of these songs.
Yeah.
Oftentimes they make the piano the vocals, and then it's like very fucking difficult because I'm doing it all on my tablet.
If I'm being perfectly honest, sometimes I've been listening to the album all week before the episode. The episode comes out and I have no idea what the intro song is. I'm like, what fucking song is this?
It's a game me and Robin play. Guess the song.
Guess the song, yeah. Yeah, but I love you, Spencer, and I appreciate all the work you do. But yeah, I have no fucking clue.
Dude, that's so fucking funny. You know what? We should hold a contest called Guess the Song on our Instagram.
Because the one it just sounded like you were just mashing the same key over and over. I was like, is this like...
Oh, was that the Thriller one?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like, Sam fucking cut it right before the guitar part comes in where it's like... I
was like, is this Runaway by Kanye West? It's just one key. Ding, 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 ding. We got you.
Make a toast for the douchebags. Make a toast for the assholes. Okay. All right. So, criticisms. I have, the only criticism I really have with this album is that it's a very, it sounds very of its time. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know if that's necessarily a bad thing, but I think that it definitely has made it not hold up.
So my criticism, I guess it's somewhat similar, but there's only 8 tracks on this album, if even. A lot of them sound the same, but it's not a bad sound. But a lot of them certainly sound the same.
There's a consistent fucking tone throughout it.
like-
I think the tempo is probably the exact same on every song.
Some of them sound quite a bit the same. Obviously, there's ones that stand out, but you could. A couple of the songs I got confused on, oh yeah, it's this song because I hadn't listened to it in a long time. Oh yeah, it's this song and it wasn't. So I feel like they sound like it's a great sound. It sounds good. But.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those. It's kind of an album that you can hit shuffle on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so many albums where I'm like, I want to listen to it all the way through.
And in all honesty, I like all the songs on the album, but most of the time I just skip right to Sailing. So.
Yeah. For me, it's I really don't know anymore.
Yeah,
that one's a fucking good one. Sailing, Ride Like the Wind. Ride Like the Wind. Just it's
also there's that one song, Minstrel Gigolo.
Yeah. That is the last
yeah.
song. Oh,
you're the minstrel gigolo, don't you know? What is he singing about?
You know what? I don't even fucking know.
What the fuck is a minstrel gigolo?
Again, another artist who's laced in metaphor.
Yeah. What the fuck is a minstrel gigolo?
Dude, I don't know. It fucking hell.
I don't want to know. You're right, Sam. I don't want to know. I think you're correct on that.
Yeah, I don't want to get canceled for that one. Okay, so let's do a review of the album. So every episode we review on technical element, musical element, lyrics, reception, album art, and does it hold up? We do each one out of 10 except for does it hold up because we just give it a yes or a no.
Yeah.
So we didn't do this in the last episode. I need to clarify that because people were like, "I fucking didn't review." Okay, well, because they were two of our favorites, we were just telling you to listen to.
They were
fucking
recommendations.
There were recommendations. We weren't like, and we were giving more of like music history facts on those ones.
You know what? You guys need to calm down.
People need to fucking chill.
You know what?
We're doing this for your entertainment.
We do this for you. I slave over this podcast every week. So
okay, I gotta say my favorite thing is like this is my favorite thing that happens with the podcast. So I like Aaron mentioned before, I do a lot of the notes for it.
Yeah.
And I'll go through and I'll be like about the artist, I'll do about the record, I'll do like notable tracks, reception, and then I'll share the doc. And then I'll come back and I'll look
typically
at,
2 days before
I'll come back and look at Aaron's fun facts, and he's just taken things from that I put later, like higher up, and just pasted them into the fucking.
I don't even, honest to God, I don't even read what you're writing. I don't even read it. I just like to live in the moment. Yeah, I just like fill in my own information, you know?
No, I get that.
Which is like, honestly, I was saying to Sarah, I was like, this is the perfect scenario for me. Like, you know, Spencer does a good chunk of the work, Sam does a good chunk of the work, and I just roll up. I bring coffee sometimes, though. Like, I'm not completely useless.
You know what? And honestly, this would fucking suck if it was not this dynamic.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. I'm super fucking type A when it comes to like my research and stuff. I'm like, I need to be prepared. It scares Jesus Christ, it's not COVID, I swear to God. But I need to be prepared. I'm super fucking worried about being unprepared.
Yeah.
And then Sam's really good with the tech stuff, and you're really good with just fucking rolling with it.
Yeah, well, I do prepare.
You
like
do
I
prepare.
read a little bit, but it's kind of like, you know, we're in a group project.
Yeah.
And you guys are the guys that prep the presentation. I'm the one that says it. It's just one of those sort of deals, you know?
That makes sense because as two Cornell University graduates,
honestly, it's because I'm inferior in my education. It really comes down to that. But at some point, I mean, once we do merch, I'll handle T-shirts.
Yeah. Because you are a marketing genius, so you got that part.
I make
down
memes
pat.
on Facebook for a living.
Yeah,
so.
for the boomers
for work. Yes, I am.
Get those people those clicks.
I am in fact in touch with our target audience. So.
Okay, so review of the album. Let's go through it.
Yes.
Technical element. I would give it probably an 8 out of 10. I think that technically speaking, like it's executed very well. It's mixed well. I didn't really find there was very much wrong with it, but the things that I did find wrong were like just certain moments where it would be like because he is the guitar player in this for a lot of these and he has a lot of solos, but you don't necessarily notice them because you're hearing a lot of the piano or the trombone or the saxophone or fucking whatever else is on the album. So I would say for that reason, I would drop it down a couple.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll give it an 8 just because compared to some of the other albums we've listened to, even though we do really like this album, I want to kind of level out our rating to give it a reasonable rating overall. So I'm going to give it a 7 on my end. So we'll do what, 7.5?
7.5?
7.5, okay. Nice number.
And then musical element, I would say it's pretty high up, but I would say probably like 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I can agree with that. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
So 7.5, 7.5.
7.5. Lyrics, some really good, some really bad.
Yeah, I mean, like some of them are not fantastic, like we're saying, minstrel gigolo. Like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I would honestly give lyrics 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd give it a 5 or maybe a 6 just because Sailing's really nice. So, I'll give it a 6 just because that song is pretty beautiful.
So we're at like a 7 average now.
Yeah.
7 out of 10. Reception, really well received. I mean, it fucking...
Yeah, that was a smash.
That's a fucking... You kind of got to give it a 10 for reception. Album art, I would say it's... you know what? Like, it was definitely iconic at the time. I think it's still recognizable, even if people don't know the album. I do notice, like, if people see it on my shelf, they're like, "Oh, I fucking know that. Who is that artist?" You know what I mean? So, I would give the album art probably like a 7.5 to an 8.
Yeah,
I think an 8 maybe.
I was thinking 8 too, so let's roll with 8.
Okay, so right now we're at about an 8 out of 10. Does it hold up?
I know we don't give a number on this, but I'd say it's mid.
Yeah.
I'd say certainly
The singles hold up.
Yeah, I don't know if the album as a whole holds up.
Yeah.
But
So 5 out of 10.
yeah,
So let's say it's a 7.5 out of 10.
that works with me.
Yeah. You know what? That's a good rating.
I think that's fair for the album, just because I would like to give it a 10 out of 10 just because we've spent so much time listening to it.
But it's
and
one of those
there's
things where it's like we have to look at it like because we are the number 23.
Oh, we're number 23.
We're number 23. We are the number 23 music history podcast in Canada, and we're number 1 in Chile.
Yeah.
So therefore, we need to be objective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
And being objective, we are not the number one podcast in Chile.
We are the number 1 English-speaking music history podcast in Chile.
Where'd you get that number?
From the
website.
website.
We have one listener in Chile, dude.
And that puts us at number. That's a 1. Is that not a 1?
Yeah, I guess that
one.
counts. I guess that
is
counts.
1.
Yeah. That counts.
Okay. Well, yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Definitely recommend people check it out.
Yeah, I agree. That was a fun episode.
That was a very fun episode.
Yeah.
Fucking love you, buddy.
Listen to Christopher Cross, please. Now cue my
Outro.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Misfits on Vinyl, hosted by Spencer Streichert and me, Aaron Walsh, and of course produced by Sam the Tech Man, Sam Lindsay. If you like us, please rate us, subscribe to us, share us. Our socials are Misfits on Vinyl Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. If you want to send us an email with any suggestions or criticisms, we love that shit, so send it away. It's misfitsonvinyl@gmail.com. We love you guys. Thank you.